That was Whitney Houston singing words written by Francis Scott Key in 1814. Francis Scott Key's brother was F. Scott Fitzgerald's great-great-grandfather. When The Great Gatsby was published in 1925, the New York World ran a book review, and the headline of the book review was Fitzgerald's latest, a dud. Over at the Chicago Tribune, H.L. Mencken reviewed The Great Gatsby, and the first sentence of Mencken's review said, Scott Fitzgerald's new novel, The Great Gatsby, is no more than a glorified anecdote, and not too probable at that. Ouch. Fitzgerald privately wondered about the novel the rest of his life, and one of the wonders was, did I give it the wrong title? The title it was going to go to the printer with was Under the Red, White, and Blue. In England, The Great Gatsby was never published in Fitzgerald's lifetime because of lack of interest. Thursday, April 10th was the 100th anniversary of the book's publication. The Empire State Building in New York was lit up in green in homage to the green light at the end of Daisy's Dock. It is now very popular. I'm of the opinion it's wildly misunderstood and misread and misremembered. I don't expect everyone to agree. I think it's cuckoo bananas to think it's a romantic book. And not just because it's full of car crashes and adultery. There's also that, but I also know that many people think of this as like the most romantic book ever written or whatever. Did you see in the first 5 chapters we read that, does Gatsby have a gold toilet? Is that what it says? Or he has a gold toilet set, which I think is like a comb, a brush, a mirror, right? Pretty close to a gold toilet. And I think if you just replace Gatsby's name with Trump or with Elon Musk, it gets kind of closer to sort of how I'm seeing it now. Do you still think it's a really romantic book? Like, do you think Elon Musk's desire to break up someone else's marriage because he can't get over the fact that she chose a different guy is super romantic? It kind of baffles me, I have to say. There's an apartment complex in Seattle called the Gatsby Apartments, and I always walk by it and I'm like, I hope they don't have a pool.
When I was on SNL, Sting was a musical guest, and it was when Every Breath You Take was the most popular song, and people were playing it at their weddings. And I remember him sitting in my office because we were working, going, and he was like, that is the most unromantic song. Like, how could it's a creepy song of an obsessive person who's watching every breath you take, every move you make. I'll be watching you is the worst possible song to play at a wedding. It's like the example of the worst kind. And yet, like this, considered this romantic song. So I just thought that was similar. He goes, people play it at weddings. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's crazy.
And you agree? Am I crazy? People talk about Gatsby this way too, right? Like,
No,
it's
I think it's not about. I think it's about wealth and mania and a illness of the American mind about wealth and acquisition and the carelessness, like that quote I sent you this week about the carelessness of the rich who just leave everyone else to clean up their mess. That's to me what it's about.
Right, right. And that's why the book is still good, because we're living in this world where that is the world now, and that is kind of the American thing.
Maybe it took us to become in this situation in our country or something, and to just see how menacing rich people can be so carelessly, as Fitzgerald describes it, for me to really finally get it. So I'm really thankful for this class because I feel like I'm finally get how great it is.
The Great American Novel, it's not, I don't think great should get the emphasis. I think American should, because this is like the American romance with rich people, and we love a criminal as long as they're rich. If they're a poor criminal, they're a bad person, but if they're rich, we love them. And I do think there are romantic emotions depicted in the book. I think there are romantic sentences. I think there's romantic paragraphs. I do think the writing is something else. I think the writing style can make me swoon. There's nothing else like Fitzgerald's writing style. It's almost hard to put into words. There's something about it that, like, if you think about it in contrast to Hemingway, Hemingway is a master stylist as well, but he's so mannered. You can copy Hemingway. You can just do the Hemingway thing. Joan Didion's whole career came from copying Hemingway. She's very clear about that. That's how she became a writer, is because she wanted to mimic his rhythms. You can't do that with Fitzgerald. There's something one of a kind about it. It has a lightness. It's like there's champagne in its joints. You can't, how do you put champagne into a sentence? I have no idea. How do you do that? But that's what it feels like. It has a kind of magic like that.